Coronation Street's resident troublemaker Carl Webster took fans on a whirlwind of emotions in tonight's episode after making an unexpected change of plans. Arriving at the garage early in the day, Carl was blindsided when Kevin Webster abruptly let him go. Carl had been tangled up in some shady business dealings, using the garage as his base, so Kevin's anger-fueled decision to sack him was understandable. After losing his position, Carl declared there was no longer any reason for him to remain in Weatherfield, a message Kevin eagerly relayed to Abby Webster. Regular viewers will recall that Abby has developed feelings for Carl and was left crushed earlier in the week when he slept with her and abruptly ended their relationship. But Abby wasn't the only one reeling from Carl's quick exit plan. When she walked into the cafe, Debbie Webster immediately challenged her to convince Carl to rethink his departure. After Abby's unconvincing efforts failed to sway him, Debbie reminded her that she needed trustworthy family around, particularly in light of her medical diagnosis. Debbie had been diagnosed with dementia earlier this year, a revelation that deeply shook her. In recent episodes, she felt deeply wounded when Kevin deceived her about still having cancer. She made it known that having Carl around meant a great deal to her, and eventually persuaded him not to leave. Later, when Abby questioned him about his sudden decision to stay, Carl claimed he was doing it for his sister's sake, though Abby pressed him for honesty. That's when he finally admitted he couldn't bring himself to leave her, prompting Abby to remind him that he had been the one who ended their relationship. Carl confessed that walking away had been a mistake and that he never should have shut her out, all while subtly touching her leg. However, Abby wasn't moved by the gesture and headed straight back to Kevin. Has Carl let the opportunity slip through his fingers? Coronation Street first look as Adi's secret torment boils over. Coronation Street has unveiled an early preview of Adi Alahan as his inner turmoil reaches its peak, leading him to finally open up to Lauren Bolton. Adi recently hosted a wild party in an effort to shake off his nice guy reputation, but things spiraled when Brody Michaelis left behind a drink laced with LSD. Unaware, Lauren drank from the spiked cup and suffered terrifying hallucinations involving her abuser, Joel Deering. That night, Adi cared for Lauren and offered her a place to sleep at the Alahan household. But since then, he's kept the full truth from her, afraid it might damage their connection. In a moving sneak peek from the upcoming Friday 8th of August episode, Adi, filled with guilt, heads out to grab more alcohol, only for Lauren to step in and stop him. Determined to return the kindness Adi showed her, Lauren insists that he doesn't need another drink, and tells him he's reached his limit. Adi lashes out, revealing that she was drugged because she unknowingly drank from his tainted cup, and confesses he's been hiding the truth all along. As he breaks down and reveals everything, it raises a question. Will this revelation shatter their fragile relationship? In another clip teasing Monday's 4th August episode, Abby Webster confides in Debbie, saying she isn't ready to pretend everything's fine after discovering Kevin lied about still being ill. Debbie reminds her that she's also made her fair share of mistakes when it comes to Kevin. When Abby admits that she no longer loves Kevin, Debbie urges her not to give up something important too quickly. A third teaser previewing Wednesday's 6th of August episode shows a glimpse of Dev Alahan and Bernie Winter's extravagant wedding, poised to be one of Weatherfield's standout celebrations of the year. In the short clip, Bernie prepares to head down the aisle with Gemma and Asha by her side. As Bernie walks toward Dev, applause breaks out and the ceremony gets underway. But will their special day go off without a hitch? Coronation Street's Theo strikes again as he chooses new target. Theo Silverton is stepping up his efforts to drive a wedge between Todd Grimshaw and Billy Mayhew on Coronation Street. Recently, Theo has turned his frustrations inward, lashing out at his partner Todd and trying to control him whenever he feels neglected. In Wednesday's 30th of July episode, he laid down an emotional ultimatum, telling Todd he'd walk away from the relationship unless Todd agreed to sleep on the sofa. During tonight's installment, Todd downplayed the situation when Billy visited and saw the bedding laid out in the living room. Todd explained that Theo's ex-wife Danielle is now involved with Noah, the same man who once subjected Theo to conversion therapy, and as a result, Theo has lost visitation rights with his children. Billy urged Todd to speak with Danielle at the bistro, hoping to resolve the situation. During their meeting, Todd pleaded with Danielle to let Theo spend time with his children, arguing, "He's a good father. By cutting him off, you're hurting the kids too." Danielle began to soften until Todd made a snarky comment about Theo's parental rights and threw shade at Noah. His comment about Mad Noah made Danielle defensive, and Todd quickly realized he'd ruined any progress he had made. Back at number 11, Theo informed Todd that Danielle had cut off all communication, making Todd feel even worse about the situation. He angrily accused Todd of going behind his back and making things worse than they already were. Theo became even more enraged when he learned Billy had accompanied Todd to see Danielle. Todd tried to explain that they were only trying to help, but Theo exploded, accusing them both of completely messing things up. Later on, Billy tried to shield Todd by claiming full responsibility for the idea to visit Danielle. Theo warned Todd never to trust advice from that vicar again. When Billy stopped by later hoping to patch things up, Theo lied, pretending Todd was in the shower and quickly showed him the door. As Todd came downstairs, Theo told him Billy had to leave in a hurry. Could Theo's manipulations successfully split Todd and Billy apart for good? Coronation Street star announces sad exit after 10 years back on the cobbles. Now's the moment to take on the roles I've always dreamed of playing. One of Coronation Street's longtime stars has officially confirmed their departure after a decade-long return to Weatherfield. Sally Ann Matthews, known for portraying Jenny Bradley, has revealed on Instagram that she's stepping away from the soap. Matthews originally joined the show in 1986, playing Jenny until 1991, and made a short comeback in 1993 before returning full-time in 2015. In her Instagram post, Matthews shared that her most recent return was only intended to last 5 months, but her love for the show kept her around for 10 more years. "I initially came back for a short 5-month stint and somehow stayed an extra decade. I just couldn't walk away," she wrote while announcing her departure. "But now feels like the right time to go after the roles I imagined playing as I got older," she added. "Thanks for the laughter, memories, and everything Trafford Wharf Road." Earlier this year, Matthews dismissed exit speculation after a fan voiced concern over rumors suggesting she might be leaving the soap. Responding to the fan's comment on Twitter/X following tabloid chatter, she fired back, "Says who?" Now, it appears the departure is real, although how her character will be written out remains under wraps. According to The Sun, the decision for Jenny's exit may not have come from Matthews herself, with producers reportedly choosing to remove the character as part of a storyline. Digital Spy has requested more details, but so far the show has declined to comment on her exit. As a former landlady of the Rover's return, Jenny has played a major role in many dramatic plot lines over the years. In more recent story arcs, she was romantically linked with Stephen Reed, who turned out to be a murderer. Following Stephen's death, financial struggles forced Jenny to sell the Rovers, though she and Daisy Midgley later recovered stolen money from Underworld to buy it back. Haunted by guilt, Jenny ultimately handed over the pub to Carla Connor, its rightful owner. Coronation Street continues to air on ITV1 at 8 p.m. on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, with episodes also available to stream on ITVX.